Thank you.
John, lovely. It's lovely to see you again. I feel like it's been a very long time since I've seen you.
It has been a while.
Yeah, it's been almost since the Middle Ages.
Yes.
2 years.
Yeah, 2 years.
Yeah. You look nice. That's a lovely rig.
Thank you.
What's is that part of your clothing line, that thing that you do?
It is.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Do you make those?
Do I sew them?
Yes.
No.
Do you sew, though?
I do sew.
Really?
Yeah,
what kind of things do you sew?
Like patches on my pants and stuff like that.
Come on, you've got to have a bit of money now. You don't have to sew patches on your pants.
Well, I kind of do, though.
All right. Are you going for that medieval look? Is that the thing? Have you ever been to one of those places?
No, I was at a medieval fair this summer in Finland.
No, that was just Finland. That's just what it's
Yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
You may be right.
Really? What did they... Were they pretending it was the Middle Ages in Finland?
Yeah.
What were the Middle Ages like in Finland, then?
Well, they had hot dogs, which I didn't know.
They've always been further... Yeah, see, that's the Scandinavians. They've always been further ahead than us.
Yeah, they had little trinkets they made, you know, amulets and jewelry and... some
IKEA torture equipment.
Some nice knives, stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they were all dressed medieval style.
Yeah, I'm not sure that I would have enjoyed the Middle Ages. I mean, I enjoyed the reenacting the Middle Ages, but I don't know that I would care for it.
I don't think so, because the whole toilet thing.
Yeah,
Also.
Yeah. I thought you were allowed to do that in medieval times. Apparently not.
I don't think so.
No.
And it wasn't kind of sent away to sea in medieval times or retreated. It just kind of was there.
I love the way you said that, though. It's sent away to sea, like, you know, you have a number 2 and then usher it off. So long! Don't forget to write. Have a great trip! No. Where are you living now? Are you still in Boston?
Yeah, we were living outside of Boston, but now both our kids are in college, so I think we'll go back to Europe to some extent now that they're in college. But most of the time I'm on the road, so always moving,
What are you like making films?
I'm still making the occasional film.
Yeah.
Then I was doing a couple of operas. Yeah.
Are you a singer?
No.
I've got to have to tell you something. It's almost essential that you be able to sing to appear in an opera. How do you do it, then?
Well, the first opera was about an Austrian serial killer, very well known in Austria, a guy called Jack Unterweger, who had murdered a woman, a young girl, when he was about 15. Then he was sentenced to life imprisonment, and he started his own kind of campaign to get himself out of prison, as one does. And he maintained that he had been rehabilitated, that he had studied writing, and he actually got out of prison, wrote novels, plays. He became a very famous journalist in Austria, in particular for covering a series of prostitute murders, most of which happened right outside of Vienna in the Vienna woods. And he became the kind of police go-to person and wrote many articles about it and became very famous in Austria. He was always on television. Then they found out, of course, that he was the one murdering the prostitute.
Oh, yeah, laugh, why don't you?
Yeah.
I'm sorry, they're medieval. Good Lord, that's an amazing story.
Yeah, and then he came out to L.A. to write...
Of course he did,
And he had a show. No, he came out to L.A. to write an article for an Austrian magazine about how difficult sort of prostitutes have it out here because they don't have a union and all that kind of thing, which they liked very much in Europe. And then, of course, he killed the 3 women he interviewed out here. He's
quite the lad, this guy, isn't he?
Yeah. And you know, he did talk about how difficult their lives were, but I'm not sure they were improved by ending.
By ending them, yeah.
But,
so do you play this guy in the opera? Mm-hmm. And do you say, I'm really crazy, and stab people and stuff?
No, it's written by a Viennese writer and director called Michael Sturminger. It has just fantastically beautiful Baroque music in it, but all Baroque music that wasn't from a particular opera. They were concert pieces, so all the arias are connected to the action, and I play the author at his book reading, giving.
You do sing then?
No, in the next one I will sing.
Right.
But
you
that's,
just kill people in this one.
This one I have killed people, and I'm also.
Have you ever actually, John Malkovich, killed anyone?
No. I had to think.
Yeah. Just like, well, there was that. No, not really.
Yeah. I did slit my brother's throat once with a butcher knife, but
it's probably an accident, right?
Not so much.
Okay.
No, but. Then my mother said, you know, don't kill each other, you're brothers. And that stopped
words,
everything.
Mom. Yeah.
Thanks for that.
Yeah. How is your brother then?
I think he's okay. I haven't talked to him in a bit. You mean from the throat injury?
Yeah, well, just in general, he's...
In general, he's okay.
Yeah, good. Yeah. I'm rather relieved to hear it.
Yeah.
The last thing you want to do in a talk show is call the authorities when the guest leaves. I'm interested that you get involved in Viennese opera, though. How does that happen to you? You have such an interesting, kind of tumbly, odd career.
Yeah, I do. That happened because I have a friend who's a Viennese costumer that we had worked together on a film about Klimt, the painter.
Oh, yes.
And she introduced me. She wanted me to meet a fantastic conductor.
Do you speak Austrian?
No.
Okay. Is this an
They don't either, because they speak German.
Oh, yeah.
But,
hang on. It's my penance.
Yeah. So she asked me to meet this conductor at the Austrian consulate in Brentwood.
There's an Austrian consulate in Brentwood? Okay. Yeah.
So I went with her to dinner one night and met this guy, a conductor, wonderful conductor called Martin Hasselbuch, who also has an orchestra out here in Los Angeles called Music Angelica.
So, does he just have an orchestra? Did they do that? They have orchestras just lying around, like cars?
He's like a two-car family orchestra.
Right, so he's got I've got my Austrian orchestra, which sings in German, and but the orchestra don't sing, of course, because they play instruments.
They play instruments
in German.
In German.
Yeah. We have to take a break.
Okay.
It's a tradition in American television to, sell products.
Yes. Let's do it.
Well, we'll take a break. When we come back, John Malkovich will be here, everybody.
Men's clothing, especially women's too, but more men's.
So, excuse me a second. Welcome back, everybody. I'm here with John Malkovich, who's wearing a lovely suit that you didn't make yourself, but it's from your own company. Do you have your own fragrance?
No, I don't.
Oh, man, people want to smell like John Malkovich. They do. Like, if they want to smell like Paris Hilton and Kim Kardashian, they want to smell like you.
Yeah, but there are a lot of things people want that they probably shouldn't have.
Yeah, you're right.
And you just named at least two of them.
So let me ask you. Yeah, all right, then. All right, peasants. Now, Let me ask you, how do you get, putting aside the Austrian opera that you're going to, how do you get involved in a clothing business then? If you're a kind of well-established, well-respected actor, you suddenly become, you know, a bit more Kathy Lee.
Yeah. Well, I've always thought of myself as a kind of Kathy Lee in a way. Anyway. But
you're teasing me, aren't you, John?
What happened was, after about 9 years ago, after September 11th, I got the first plane I could out of Paris and went back to New York to see friends and et cetera, et cetera. And I had a friend there who introduced me to a guy who asked me if I would design a men's line. And
yes, but why? Yes.
Yeah. Well,
hi, I saw, you know, your movie. I really enjoyed it. Would you design a pair of pants for me? It's not really.
Yeah. That was the kind of
right. Okay.
In your pants. As it were.
He's not here. He's
I know.
Not here.
I see him later.
Oh, you'll see him later at the premiere. I mean, you mean you'll see him earlier?
Yeah. Sorry, I've already seen him.
How's he doing?
I've already seen him, and it was great.
All right, thanks.
So this guy, Francesco, this gentleman, asked me if I would do it, and I thought about it a long time, because usually I'm too busy, and that takes up an unbelievable amount of time.
Trouser design?
Not just trousers, but it's suits, sport coats, knitwear, shirts, ties.
Underwear?
No.
Why not?
Who needs it?
Now you really are teasing me, John. Well, that's right. Hey, do you ever watch the Project Runway? Maybe you could.
I do. I heard you were a fan.
I am a fan of the show. I do like it.
And I haven't this year. Who are the people this year?
Well, you know, Heidi, Tim, you know.
Yeah.
They have a designer this year who I think is rather clever and talented, called Gretchen, but she's a real bitch.
Yeah. Which Gretchen is it? Do you know? Do you remember?
I don't. That's the only one I know.
Yeah.
Gretchen, and then there's another designer called Mondo, who's quite small and he wears tiny little shorts all the time. He's very super talented, but a little weird.
Yeah.
You might get along with him, actually.
Of course, yeah. I'm sure I would.
You do. Your friends seem like an eclectic bunch of people. You know, fashion designers and Austrian opera people. And do you purposely avoid the show business trappings? Do you purposely avoid show business people?
No, I've met some of the most fantastic people doing the job of being an actor or director or producer. But often what happens is I travel so much, they travel so much. Oftentimes when I come out here, I'm working the entire time. But I have quite a few people in the movie industry or theater industry that I'm really fond of and stayed in touch with over the years. But it's not easy in our business, because we're always on the road.
It's a funny business as well, because it's kind of encompasses a lot of things. I mean, you've got, you know, very interesting, intelligent people, and then you've got complete douches running. They walk the same carpet. They're the same, you know, they walk the same red carpet. They kind of, so it's a very odd, wide spectrum.
Yeah, it is. People. And it's just hard to stay in touch. And really, I was probably on the road pretty close to 300 days this year.
That's too much. You want to stay home a little more.
A little bit.
Yeah. Now, do you fancy an awkward pause?
Yes.
Should we do an awkward pause? I mean, you can handle it. You're a very talented actor.
No.
You're already doing it? That was really good.
See, that wasn't so painful.
That was really good. I didn't even see it coming. I was like, what? And then suddenly it was awkward, and we were pausing.
Now, any message from me to Jeff? that I already gave.
That you already see, Jeff Peterson?
Yeah.
No, just slap him really hard in the face.
Okay.
It'll hurt your hand, though. He's bony.
Yeah. It's okay. I'll do it.
Yeah. No, I think you like him.
I'm sure. He looks pretty funny. They showed me in a thing backstage.
You could put him in your opera about serial killers.
I could.
Yeah.
Yeah. He could play one of the singers, actually. Oh.
You sound rather pleased about that as an idea.
No, not so much.
I'd quite like to be in an opera about serial killers. Can I be in it too?
Sure, why not?
All right, because I can do a serial killer.
Yeah.
Oh, I can.
You would be.
In the basket.
You would actually be great in it because, sadly enough, it's mostly stand-up, is what it is. Weirdly enough. Yeah.
Are you sure this is an opera, or you're just yanking my chain about something? This really happened?
Yeah.
All right.
It toured all over Europe this spring, summer, and in just
with me, aren't you?
No, you can look it up, man.
All right, then.
Really.
All right, well, we're out of time, John.
All right.
Which I feel very badly about. But you have to go and go to this premiere of this movie.
Yeah.
Earlier on.
Yeah. I